It's Wednesday, May 8th, 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is an absolute honor to do these videos and share this data and this news with you on a daily basis. So I really appreciate you spending the time with me and continuing to share these videos. So please make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and yes, continue sharing these videos all over your social media with your friends, with your family. Keep sharing the information because things are going to get much, much worse as we are now getting much closer to summer. And the data I'm going to share with you today, markets very flat. And while markets were flat, the U.S. economy continues to implode. And I'm going to go over some data points with you today. And feel free as always to comment down below on any of this. I'm getting this from The Hedge, Newsweek, CNBC, MSN, all over the place. So, let's decipher the information and we can all come up with our own conclusion of how well the economy is doing or how fast it's imploding. This coming from The Hedge today. Someone is lying. Atlanta Fed claims U.S. GDP is 4.2%. Wow. DOE reports lowest gasoline diesel demand since the health crisis. Earlier today, the Fed forecasted a whopping 4.2% GDP for the second quarter of this year. Do you believe this? Wow! Gasoline and diesel demand is going down because there is less shipping, there is less demand for products. And so that means planes fly less, trains move less, trucks move less. This to me means somebody is lying, right? Either the Atlanta Fed is lying or the Department of Energy here is lying. So what do you think about this? Comment down below. How can GDP be growing at 4.2% when we're seeing gasoline and diesel demand imploding? It does not make sense whatsoever. But again, we know that so much of this data is manipulated. Now, I want to get to this article here, RV Industry Sales and News Report. This from May 2024. I've driven by in the last month a lot of these RV lots, fifth wheelers, RVs, travel trailers, the toy haulers, and there is so much inventory sitting on these lots. If you live in an area that has an RV lot, what are you seeing? I've never seen so much inventory as the amount of inventory I'm seeing right now. I have a couple that are local to my area, one that I drive by weekly, and just drove by it a day or two ago, and I've filmed probably 3 videos on it in the last 2 years. They are loaded with inventory. When Sid and I were out a couple weeks ago in Riverside and San Bernardino, we drove by at least a half a dozen, did a video on one of them, loaded with inventory. And so this is pretty interesting. In 2024, there's been a surge in wholesale shipments, meaning RV dealers are buying more RVs, expecting increased sales this year. So from the beginning of this year, they started loading up inventory, loading up these RVs on the RV lots. And why were they doing this? I believe the dealers were expecting that the Fed was going to lower interest rates. And so in return, it would cost less to borrow money because 80–90% of these RVs are financed. I think it's over 80% from what I read. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's over 80% of these toys or vehicles, RVs, they're financed. And so the dealers were expecting rate cuts, multiple rate cuts by now, did not happen. And now they bought these vehicles, these RVs, they're sitting on the lots, and some of these dealers are going to be in very, very big trouble because here's the data. RV sales registrations are down 8.9% year over year. Last year was a horrible year, and now they're down 8.9% from last year's horrible year to this year's horrible year. 1,800 fewer travel trailer sales this year compared to last year. Dealers are getting crushed. And I don't know exactly how the business works, but from what I read, they purchase these vehicles and RVs. They purchase them and put them on their lots. So if they have money in this, they've got to sell these things. If they don't, they're in very, very big trouble. They're going to take huge losses. So the RV industry continues to collapse. Inventory, just drive by an RV lot here in Southern California. I guarantee you, you're going to see more RVs than you've ever seen in your life. I don't know what it's like in the state you live in, but here in Southern California, they're loaded. This was one of the hottest RV markets a couple years ago when all the FOMO existed, when everybody had all that Fed money burning a hole in their pocket, and now they don't. So what's going to happen to the RV industry? We've seen major layoffs with the companies that manufacture these vehicles. More layoffs probably coming, and now we're probably going to see some of the dealers go belly up because they're not going to be able to unload the inventory that they purchased. So it's another reflection of the bad economy. And look, once you pump money into the economy, you give people all this free money and you give people cheap money to borrow, they're going to go out and buy toys like this. They're buying the toy haulers. They're borrowing the RVs. They're buying the fifth wheelers. They're buying this stuff. They're buying the ATVs. They're buying the boats. They're buying the motorcycles. When they have cheap money and they can make that monthly expense, they can make it work. They don't look at the price. You know, the RV might be $100,000, but they go, oh look, you know, $399, you know, a month. We can make that, but you know, they're going to be paying that for decades. But that's how the American person, the American consumer, average consumer thinks. Can I just make the monthly, you know, note? Can I make the monthly payment? Doesn't matter that it costs $100,000, but can we just make the monthly payment on the boat or the motorcycle or the RV? And if they can, they'll do it. And now think about how many people own these things who can't afford to even, you know, pull them, drive them. They can't afford to go anywhere and spend a weekend in these things because it's so expensive now for fuel out here to haul these things. How about insurance of these vehicles? I mean, this is a complete mess. I don't know what's going on in the secondary market, but I'm sure a lot of people are trying to unload these things as prices in the secondary market are plummeting. So, you know, if you have any experience in the RV industry, please comment down below. If you own one of these vehicles, comment down below. Very interested to know your thoughts on this, but how bad is it going to get in the RV industry? It's going to continue to get much, much worse because people cannot borrow money to buy these things. They cannot operate these things with fuel costs, insurance costs. It's going to continue to get much worse. Here's one from Newsweek. Is the economy as bad as Americans think? Well, experts told Newsweek that the U.S. economy is doing relatively well, especially when compared to most other Western countries. So I guess we're doing well if it's not as bad here as other places. I mean, that's a terrible barometer for measuring how well an economy is doing. But, you know, who are the experts? Who are these experts? Do they go grocery shopping? Do they go to the gas station? You know, is there health insurance going up? Is there home insurance going up? Is there cost of living going up? Who are these experts? I will tell you who I think the experts are. I think you're the experts because you're the people going to the grocery store every week. You're going to the gas station, you know, every day or once a week. You're paying health insurance. You're paying for your property insurance. You're seeing your savings account dwindle. You know that the savings rate is 3.2%. Why? Because you live in the real world. The experts don't live in the real world. The experts are the people living in the real world, dealing with the real world, paying the bills in the real world, and watching this collapse take place in their own real world. So, you know, I guess as long as, you know, all the puppies are sick, but you're not as sick as the sickest puppy, then everything's good, right? It's like how we measure the dollar. Oh, the dollar's great because it's just not as bad as the other currencies. That's a terrible barometer for measuring the health of something. You know, you're all dying, but you're not dying as fast. Not really a good way to measure the condition of an economy, but I think the only way you can measure it is from day-to-day life. Are you saving money? Are your wages going up? Is there more opportunity? Are you being able to buy more food with the dollars that you spend? Is your purchasing power going up or is it going down? Is your savings going up? Is it going down? Is your standard of living going up or going down? Most of this is all going down for a majority of this country. You are the experts. The experts have been wrong about everything. The American people who live in this have been shouting out for a long time that this economy is collapsing, that they see bad things ahead. They're not happy with the economy. They're not happy with the direction of this economy. The experts are the American people who are living paycheck to paycheck, now realizing what's going on. CNBC, 54% of young Americans say food costs are the biggest strain on their finances. Well, I mean, here's another statistic right here that's proving the experts wrong. How can the economy be doing well when so many people are being strained just by food cost alone? What do you think? Comment down below. Is food costs the biggest strain on your finances, or is it something else? Is it car insurance, health insurance? Is it property insurance? What is really the big strain in your personal finances? We would love to know. Comment down below on that. Here's another one. Bad loans hit record high as used car prices suffer worst bear market ever. If you get a couple minutes, check this one out from The Hedge. This is a significant worry for millions of Americans who bought cars during the health crisis when they were spending free money provided by the Federal Reserve, only now to discover that their loans are plunging into underwater territory. I mean, this is exactly what's happening in the RV industry. This is what you're going to be seeing in the housing market too very, very soon when prices begin to come down more and more. And people begin to realize that their equity is disappearing, that they overpaid for their house, especially during the health crisis when all the FOMO was taking place. And they're going to realize that they made a very, very big mistake here. The people that bought an RV, the people who were out buying cars, the people who were out buying houses, not getting a home inspection. We'll talk more about that later. But all this is all related. People were buying toys, boats, cars, RVs, houses, because of cheap money and because they were getting free money. And now a lot of people are underwater. 20% of new vehicle sales involving a trade-in had negative equity during the October to December period. Negative equity values soared to a new record of $6,064, a massive 46% increase from late 2021. And they told you, you better get this car, you better get it because this is your last chance. You're not going to be able to get one of these again. They're not going to make these or this or that. And they duped so many people into this, and people bought it hook, line, and sinker. So these people who think that this isn't going to happen in the housing market, sadly mistaken again. People got duped into the RVs, they got duped into the boats, they got duped into the cars, and they got duped into buying houses that they paid way too much money for. And that's going to be the next shoe to drop. Gold bars are selling like hotcakes in Korea's convenience stores and vending machines. This on CNBC. I was reading this last night. So you can buy 0.1 to 1.87 grams at one of these CU outlets. That is a chain in South Korea that you can just buy gold. And it says here, people in their 30s are the most active in purchasing these small gold bars. To give you an idea, a 1.87 gram gold bar is a little bit over $165. It said that these young people in their 30s account for over 41% of sales. Interesting. Demand for gold bars and coins in South Korea rose 27% year on year to 5 tons in the first quarter. Younger investors are exploring gold as a way to diversify. I think that's really interesting. And here we see Costco selling a lot of gold. What was it, $200 million a month in gold bars? And now we have a convenience store called CU. It's an outlet throughout South Korea, and they're selling gold like hotcakes. Unbelievable. But it is believable because people are getting worried, and they're going to go to something with a 5,000-year history. They're going to go to something that they can, get rid of the monopoly money and hold something physical that can be identified as real money anywhere on planet Earth. So I think it's I think it's a time where people are going to go back to simplicity. They're going to go back to what has always worked. That's gold, that's silver. And if you need a reputable, safe place to buy your gold or silver, just go to my link down below, SD Bullion. I've been buying from them for 6.5 years. Great company, great prices, shipping fast, and they're very, very awake to what is happening globally right now. The people there have been fantastic. I've been dealing with them again for over 6.5 years, and I can't say enough good things about them. And they are the only ones I buy gold and silver from. But look, you can buy whoever you want to buy from, but if you need a safe, reputable place that you can count on, SD Bullion, link down below. Here's another one, MSN. Want to sell your home? Get ready for disappointment, it says. This is on MSN. Sellers' fortunes are changing. The FOMO is running out. Buyers aren't passing up on inspections or giving up contingency rights. And think about it. You wanna buy a home today at 30 years over 7%, and you better have really, really good credit to get it. Sellers who aren't ready to come to terms with the new reality are going to have a cruel summer. Home prices are no doubt have come down from the peak. Right here in the article it says Austin, Texas, home prices are down 12% from their peak. And if you look at some of the hottest real estate markets from a year or 2 years ago, they're way down from their peaks. New home builders have been dropping prices double digits and buying down rates and throwing in incentives. So we don't even really know how much they're discounting their homes, but they're doing whatever it takes now to get those houses sold. The retail seller, the existing home seller, has not woken up to what is going on. The new home builders, they know what's happening, and they are throwing in whatever they have to do, buy down those mortgages, put in the granite countertops, throw in a swimming pool, whatever they have to do. The travertine floors, they're going to do whatever they have to do to get somebody to buy that house. So that's why new home sales are blowing away existing home sales. And at some point, the existing home seller is going to have to wake up in order to sell their home. Here's another one from Newsweek. Rising number of men don't want to work. Well, how are you going to buy a house if you don't want to work? How do you feed yourself if you don't want to work? Bureau of Labor Statistics found only 89% of working age men have a job or are actively looking for work. In 1950, that number was 97%. A lot of people don't want to work because they don't have to, because they can get free stuff. They can get free subsidies. They get free food. They get free money. They get a free place to live. There's a lot of incentives to not go out there and work. But, think about when this government, who right now is telling you by 2035, you're not going to have Social Security. How are they going to continue to pay for all these people to eat and live in Section 8 housing? How is this going to continue? And then on top of that, you have millions of people coming over here who are going to need to eat. They're going to need medical. They're going to need housing. How are we going to support tens of millions of people on top of all the tens of millions of people here right now who are not working, who need medical, who need food, who need housing? This is going to end very, very bad. And I think it's embarrassing for a man who doesn't want to go out there and earn a paycheck. And I know people will write me and say, well, corporate America is terrible, and, you're not getting paid what you're worth. I get it. But you'll take free money from the government and respect yourself and look in the mirror at yourself when you're not even doing anything for that money. You're having people like me and everybody else work to pay your bills. And you can look in the mirror and respect yourself for that. I mean, honestly, I'd rather work for corporate America. Maybe I'm not getting paid what I should be getting paid, but at least I'm not robbing the American taxpayer to take care of me. I mean, that is, your grandparents would never, ever stand for this. And look, if you don't like working for corporate America, go do something on your own. Go be inventive. Be creative. Go do something. Start a business. Figure something out. Don't work for corporate America. Go help start a small business with somebody. Go work for a small business. Do something. But I think America is getting sick of paying everybody's college tuition bills. We're getting sick of people who are able-bodied in their 20s and 30s sitting at home smoking dope, playing video games. We're sick and tired of paying for you. We really are. I'm going to finish with this last one. Shocking poll. Nearly 1 in 3 Americans live in constant pain. Nothing worse than being in pain. But I think, I will give a little advice here today. Why are people in so much pain? They're sitting around too much. They're not doing anything. They're not working. They're not producing. They're not being productive. They're not innovating. They're not doing anything. Um, my advice is get off the couch. Go get some exercise. Go get a job. The more you're moving, the healthier you are. And yes, I know some people have issues, and because of those issues, they have pain. But I think when you're doing something and you're taking your mind off the pain, you have to get up, you have to get out, you have to get moving. And I think that will really help if you have pain. A lot of people, it will take their pain away. People have too much pain because they sit too much and they don't move and they're overweight and obese and very unhealthy. And mentally, it's just bad to not be moving. When you're moving and you're thinking, you're producing, your body's just healthier. You have more respect for yourself. The blood is flowing. The muscles are moving. You're just a healthier person, and you're just like lubricating your body. It's moving. You get stiff. You get tight when you just sit around and do nothing, and you get out of shape. You get obese. You get out of weight. You get overweight, and it's very, very unhealthy. And people got to stop making excuses that I'm overweight because of this, that. Get moving. Stop making excuses. Get to the gym today. You should all be working on defensive skills. Why you're not boxing, doing jiu-jitsu, wrestling, Muay Thai, doing something to protect yourself. I mean, why just be an unhealthy sitting duck? It's just like, how can you sit there and respect yourself when you're not doing anything? You're not challenging yourself. You're not working. You're not picking up a paycheck, and you're just letting your body, the only body, you only get one body, it's your temple, and you're just letting it decay. Unexcusable, unacceptable. And I'm just calling it the way I see it. It doesn't mean you have to run 10 miles a day. Go run 100 yards. Go run 200 yards. Start out at 200 feet. Do something. Start doing something. You can start today. But too many people have excuses. I'm going to do it, next week. I'm going to do it this summer. I'm going to do it after the summer. I'm going to do it after my vacation. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Too many excuses. And this is why people are overweight. This is why people have pain. This is why people are sick. I really truly believe if more people just got up, got moving, got to work, got to the gym, and just moved more and got off the couch, they would just be so much healthier mentally and physically. My opinion. I'm not a doctor, but that's my opinion. I'm not here to judge anybody. I want everybody to win. I want everybody to get in good shape. I could be in better shape, no doubt about it. But I'm trying to do the best that I can, and I'm setting goals, and I'm sticking with them. And that's the biggest thing is dedicating yourself and sticking to those goals. You got to be challenging yourself. You got to be pushing yourself right now. I'm going to leave it there today. I don't want to rant. This isn't a physical fitness show, but it's important because, again, you only get one body. It's your temple. Respect it. Take the best care of it that you can. Eat a little bit better. Exercise a little bit more. Start getting into a routine. I think you're going to be much happier, much healthier. You're going to live longer. You're going to have less pain, and you're going to be going to the doctor a lot less. So I'm going to leave it there today. God bless every one of you. Please like, share, subscribe. Again, thank you so much. It's an honor to speak with all of you daily. I want to thank you all for the prayers, the great letters, all the support. God bless every one of you. As always, I look forward to speaking to each and every one of you very, very soon.